Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am super excited about this video today because we're gonna do this full face for under $40. Actually, right around $40. Let me tell you how difficult it is to do a full face under $40 when you are over 40. I don't have microblading, I don't have lash extensions or anything like that. That alone makes it very challenging. I'm using some new products today that I've never tried before. I am also using some that I have some experience with, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on all of them. I'm also going to do a wear test for you guys, so stay tuned to the end to see how this wears all day long. I'm also super excited about this video because it is in collaboration with my friend Cassandra Thompson of 30 Something Beauty. I just lost my light from right over here, so we're just gonna have to move forward with the lighting how it is. If you have not checked out Cassandra's channel yet, definitely check her out. She offers just a real world, everyday perspective for all of you over 30 something women out there. And I know there's a lot of you because a lot of you are here with me. I really enjoy her because she gives very thorough information. She also has a very bubbly, energetic personality, and you can just tell from her videos the type of genuinely nice person she is in real life. And I love aligning with people like that I think I would actually hang out with if I lived near them. So we actually started out with this challenge being a full face under $25. But then we started talking and we were realizing it was gonna basically be all Essence or dollar store products, and we wanted to give you guys products that you would actually wanna go and purchase and have in your makeup stash. So we upped it to $40. It's still a little bit difficult. I know there's some products that I'm not able to use. I couldn't fit it in the budget. I think upping it to $50 would have been a little bit easier for me. She may have had an easier time because she is younger than I am, but I was able to make it work. You know, I think this look turned out pretty good. So stay tuned to the end of the video to see how this holds up for sure. Keep watching to see how I achieve this look because there's some creativity involved for sure. And when you finish watching this video, definitely head over to Cassandra's video, tell her I sent you, check out how she achieves her full face for under $40 so we can get started and see how I got this look. Here I am, barefaced. I am moisturized, lip balmed, sunscreened up. The moisturizer sunscreen that I use today, the one that I use pretty much every day, is the Paula's Choice Resist Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense Broad Spectrum SPF 30. I like this for my oily combination skin. I am over 40, so I do prefer this just because it's got good anti-aging ingredients and it does have a soft mattifying effect in it. It states on here, silky lotion mattifies and smooths. I really like using this, especially on days when I may not be using a primer. Like today, I am starting with the Wet n Wild Cushion Foundation. I'm gonna hold this the right way. I have this listed as $5.93. I think I got it at Walmart for that price. Prices are gonna vary because sometimes there's gonna be buy one, get one free. It's gonna be different prices at different retailers. So to say these things will always be the prices that I state, that's just not gonna be the case. But I found this for $5.93. I've seen it as high as $8, and sometimes they do buy one, get one 50% off, that kind of thing. I know from my experience that if I don't wear it with a primer, usually I get kind of shiny with it. I'm in the shade Nude Beige, which is light, medium, warm. I actually like this sponge. I feel like it gives nice, even, smooth coverage. I've seen people do this challenge where they have eyelash extensions or they have microblading and it's a little bit easier for them. I really do like the shade match of this. If you are my shade match, this would be a good one for you. I feel like this really does blur my pores nicely and it gives great coverage, especially for a cushion foundation. A lot of cushion foundations are kind of more light medium. This can go up to full coverage and not look cakey. It still looks really natural. So I've been pretty impressed with it. I don't think it is an all-day wearing foundation for me as far as keeping me from not being shiny. So you can see on that side of my face how much it even things out. I really like how quickly this applies. Sometimes these sponges are not that great for application. I usually use a dry beauty blender because I feel like they come with a dry sponge and that's how you're supposed to use them. And that's how I usually prefer them. But this one, I really like the sponge. All right, there we go, done. You can see it gives a soft radiance to the face. I feel like it blurs my pores. It is kind of tacky on the face, so if you have issue with that, if you don't set your foundation, this may not be the one for you, but I do set my foundation or I am a grease slick. The concealer that I got is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. I'm a little worried about this shade. I tried to get a shade that was light enough for underneath my eyes, but that I could also conceal on my face. I'm in the shade Light Medium Beige. This is actually the only light shade that they had. I'm showing this as being $3.93. Yeah, it's a little deeper than what I would normally go, and I feel like I am one of the only people on the planet that has not really tried this concealer. Or maybe I tried it and I didn't like it. I don't know. I'm going in with a dry sponge just because I'm kind of lazy. Let me turn my brightness down a little bit. Is that a little better? So this shade has kind of some yellow tones. Even though I have warm undertones, I usually use something a little bit cooler under my eyes to counteract my dark circles. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna love this just based on the color alone, but we'll see. I feel like it's a little bit dry looking. I just hope that doesn't get worse during the day. A little spot right here, a little spot right here. I don't know if I'm gonna worry about covering anything else because I really wanna see how the foundation does during the day and not have concealer on top of it. I'm just lightly dabbing it over my sunspots. It gives pretty good coverage. I feel like it might have a tendency to look a little dry once it's set. I crease immediately right here. Once I start looking around, looking down, and I'm seeing that happen already. There's very few concealers where I don't crease immediately right there under my eye, and this is happening. Actually, I think I am gonna wet my sponge. The powder I'm using is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Pressed Powder. It's in the shade 100 Translucent. I'm using the pressed version because the price was right and I have it here. I love the loose version, but I like it as a finishing powder more. I don't feel like it keeps me matte enough in my T-zone. So I'm just gonna take my sponge and pop it right in there. I've done this a zillion times. It works just fine. It is a damp sponge, and I've completely switched sponges to the L'Oreal sponge. I don't bake my under eye because I'm too old for that and I'm too textured underneath my under eyes. I just like to pat it under there so it looks really smooth, and then I dust away any excess with a brush. So I'm gonna press this powder in so that it locks in that foundation and hopefully keeps me shine free for a decent amount of time. And the price of this powder is $5.94. All right, so I'm just gonna take a powder brush and just dust over that. All right, done. We're moving on to brows. This is gonna be a multitasking product for me today. You'll see that in a little while. I am using the ColourPop Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Cool Cocoa. I've been using this a lot lately. I'm gonna zoom through this because I feel like I just did a video where I did my brows, even though I did them with a pen. I pick a starting point and I just make a hair stroke like that. And then I leave a space. I don't like to do it right together because then when you comb through them, it turns into one big smudge. So then I kind of leave a space and I do another stroke. This is only if you're like me and you have some sparse areas you need to fill in, or if you need to make them a little closer. Brows are not an option for me because I am very sparse. They're not even at all. People say your brows are sisters, not twins. I don't think mine are even on the same planet. So I gotta even them up. So that's what I do for the beginning. It looks kind of crazy at first. I hope you guys can see that. And then I start going into the bulk of the brow, the arch, taking care of that shape a little bit, filling it in where I need. And then I just, you know, make my tail and then fill it in. You can go higher with your arch if you want. Probably not a good day to show you guys what I do with my brows because they are a little bit unruly right now. And then I comb through them, and that is what gives them a more natural look. And if I see that I need to take care of something, make it look a little more natural, I'll do that. And that's really it. Now, most of the time I use some kind of a brow gel. I can't do that today. I don't have the budget. If I had $50, I could do a brow gel. You see what a difference that made? So I'm gonna even out my brows and I'll be right back. Sometimes if I feel like I'm a little too dark at the front of the brow, I'll just take some kind of shadow brush, stiff shadow brush, and just lightly, almost kind of smudge it. And it just kind of softens it just a little bit. You don't want to do it too hard because you don't want it to turn into one big smudge. I'll do that before I go in with brow gel. I'm not doing tinted brow gel today. All right, so that's what we have. I think they're even. They're as even as they're gonna get today, I'll tell you that much. I really like this brow pencil. It's $5. It is not waxy at all. It glides on, it lasts all day. I've really been enjoying that. I already know how I feel about that. We're gonna get creative with this face palette that I've never used before, so I really hope this goes well. This is the e.l.f., what is this called? Total Face Palette. That's what it has on the back, but I could have sworn it was like the Blush and Glow palette or something else. I had to go the face palette route because that's all that would fit in my budget, and I am gonna add something else. I had a slightly pricier face palette, but the bronzer was orangey. I also wanted to do one of the Wet n Wild quads, and I could only do blush or bronzer, so I thought with this I could do blush, bronzer, highlight. I could put it on my eyes, and I can use this little single eyeshadow on the lid, which I found from Essence. These are $1.99, this is $8. So combined, we're gonna try and make this work. Let's do the face first. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I have my e.l.f. highlighting brush. We're gonna try this highlighter. It's a very soft highlighter. I might use my fingers. Okay, it's better with the fingers. If you like a super, super soft highlighter, you might like this. One that you could wear to work or anywhere. That's what you're gonna get from this highlighter. All right, so I'm not sure if you can even see that, but hey, that's what we have to work with, so that's what we're doing. Every single palette that I pulled, the bronzer was just either too light or way too dark or too orangey. This looks too light too. I'm not sure if I can even use it as a contour. Yeah, that's too orangey for a contour. So we're not gonna do that. We are just gonna use this as a bronzer, and I'm just gonna use that same brush I use for powder because it's got a nice pointed tip to get in here. It's a little powdery, there's some kick up, so tap your brush off. Okay, it's kind of pretty. Feeling like I'm looking a little bit pale, so this could be good. I might just go heavier around the perimeters of my face and then dust it lightly all over, just where the sun might hit. Does that look orangey to you guys? It's hard for me to tell. Over here, when I look in the mirror, it doesn't, but I don't know what it looks like to you guys. I am gonna bring it down to my neck because I feel like my neck is looking a little bit neglected. I thought that I was patchy right here, but I think that's the lighting because when I move around, it's really not. It's nice and subtle. I think if you have darker skin tones, this is not gonna work for you. I hope that they have a different one, a darker one. This Covergirl palette is the other one that I was gonna go with, and it is $9.98 versus the $8 for the e.l.f. I mean, you get one less blush in the Covergirl, but I think it's totally workable. I think the highlight will show a little bit more in here, but this bronzer showed up way orangey when I swatched it. So that's why I decided to use this palette instead. It just had a little more brown tones. They did have other shades in this Covergirl palette though, some deeper shades. So if you have darker skin tones, you may want to try the Covergirl, and they are cruelty free now. So I think that would be a great option. Okay, so this blush right here is this one on my hand. This blush right here is this one. So this one I don't think is going to show up on me, so I'm going to use this one, which is a little bit darker. This is a very light palette. If you happen to know if they have other shades of this, let me know. This is the only one that they happen to have in my Ulta. It's a very soft, peachy melon shade. You know, despite the lightness, I do like this palette. It applies nicely. I do like building things as opposed to having to worry about getting too much pigment. It's got a nice melon tone to it. I'm gonna take that other lighter blush and kind of sweep it here and see if it kind of diffuses everything together, almost like a finishing powder. Because I feel like it's got just almost that brightening peach tone to it. We're experimenting. Yeah, I think it did. So that's what you could use that other powder for, but I'm not too impressed with the highlight. I picked up this Essence Eye Blender brush. If you've used any Essence brushes, let me know. This is not part of my budget, but I just wanted to see if it was any good. It was, I think, $1.99. I'm gonna take the bronzer in my crease. I'm gonna take the highlight in my inner corner and on my brow bone, and I might even put a touch of this shade in my crease. I'm not sure, I'm gonna play around. So here's the bronzer with this brush. Yeah, okay, I can see that. This is nice. Yeah, the brush isn't too scratchy or anything like that. It's fine. I'm gonna pinch this brush and put that bronzer underneath my eye. Make it look a little bit bigger. I'm just lightly going over the top of that bronzer with this light peachy shade. I just kind of want to brighten it up a little bit because of what I'm about to put on the lid. I'm going to take this Sigma Short Shader E20 and take that highlight right up here on the brow bone. I don't think that's doing a whole lot. I am not impressed with this highlight. I really cannot see it that much. You know, just for kicks, let's swatch this highlight on my hand, and I want to swatch that Covergirl highlight next to it. So the Covergirl palette that I did pick up that I'm not using is Bloom Babe. So here is the Covergirl highlight and here is the e.l.f. highlight. So you can see there's quite a big difference in the pigmentation of those highlights. This is the e.l.f. bronzer and this is that Covergirl bronzer. That's why I didn't use it. It just looks straight up orange to me. And I didn't want to mess up my entire face and look like an Oompa Loompa. So that is why I did not use this palette. However, I do want to try it out down the line to look at that blush and the highlight because it looks really pretty. Okay, so I want to use this little Essence eyeshadow on my eyes. These are called My Must-Haves. Have you guys checked these out? They're little single eyeshadow. Whoa. Okay, sorry. I was planning on flipping this lid back and it comes all the way off. So they have... Did I just scrape that off? Yes, I did with my thumbnail. Awesome. Great. Now I have eyeshadow on my thumbnail. They have little palettes that you can fill, but I just got the single eyeshadow because I really like this shade. I really love a good taupe shade. I feel like it's such a universally flattering one and done eyeshadow shade. This one is called All I Need. That is what that looks like right there. Just a really good universal taupe. There's not a lot of kick up on it. I'm going to use my finger and just go in on my lid. I'm actually going to try it wet with my MAC Fix Plus on just a firm shader brush to see if that gives it a little bit more of a wet appearance and kind of helps it adhere a little bit better. I kind of feel like this is very similar to the last Get Ready With Me that I did, but this is really just what worked for this particular challenge. Now, I guess I could have gone with a different color, but I know a lot of you guys are really wanting something that gives you this kind of effect, and I feel like this pretty much does. Actually, this is a really good shade. You know, they discontinued Wet n Wild Nutty, which I know a lot of you really liked. This might be a good option if it lasts throughout the day. I felt like I kind of had a harsh line over here, so I just took a buffing brush and lightly went over it really quickly just to kind of soften any edges. I just kind of felt like I was seeing some things I didn't like. So that's something you can do if you don't have finishing powder around, or if you're on a $40 challenge and don't have finishing powder in your budget, what have you. I didn't have any budget for eyeliner, and because I didn't have budget to use, you know, a small quad and the blush and bronzer and all that to get really creative on the eyes, I opted to go a little bit more simple on the eyes. Then I thought, you know, this ColourPop brow pencil is pretty creamy. I bet I could use it as an eyeliner too. So that's what I'm doing. I experimented with this the other day. It worked pretty well. I just kind of smudged it out once I was done. Actually, did I even smudge it out? I'm not sure. I just did my little mini wing over there, smudged it really close to the lash line, and then just kind of built up that line just to give me a little bit of a lift. I just feel like because my eyes are kind of small and I do have that slight downturn, I need some kind of eyeliner. I just always wear some kind of a smudged eyeliner usually, even if it's just a soft shade. I'm going to do that to the other eye. I'm going to curl my lashes and I'm going to use this Essence Get Big Lashes. This is the waterproof version because I need a waterproof mascara to hold my curl. I want to see if it works. This mascara retails for $3.99. I'm going to do that and I'll come back. Well, I made a few adjustments while I was on break. I tried to make myself somewhat presentable for the end of the video. I am on the fence about this mascara right now. I know I just opened it. It's a new tube. It's a very dry formula. Not all waterproof formulas are dry. I feel like my lashes are in all different directions and they're not that thick and full either. I don't know if you can see them. They're just kind of okay. I'm gonna give it another shot, but I'm also gonna wear it today to see if it smudges or flakes and that kind of thing. I had a couple of lip options for this video. The first that I was looking at was doing ColourPop Lippie Sticks in Aquarius. I think I'm gonna have this on for maybe the end of day check-in or the check-in later because I don't anticipate that what I have on will last a long time. This is just a great neutral shade. It's $5.50, so it totally fit in the budget to bring everything right around $40. The other option was using this Essence Soft Contouring Lip Liner in Lost in Love, plus their Shine 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 Wet Look Lip Gloss in Bright On. My intention was originally to use the Lippie Stix, and then I saw the price of these. The lip liner is $2.49, the lip gloss is $2.99, and I really thought this looked super pretty. I don't know if you can see that. It's got some glimmer to it, so I wanted to try it. When I put this lip liner on just now, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk is over here, and then this is the Essence. It's not exact, but you know, it could pass if you wanted something kind of close. I like it because it did glide on easily. It didn't tug or anything like that. And it's not an obnoxious pink either. So this is kind of nice. This is what we have with the gloss, with the doe foot. It kind of comes out kind of clumpy, but we'll see how it applies on the lips. It's kind of a champagne taupey beige shade, but I have a feeling it's going to be kind of sheer. It's kind of a fuzzy looking doe foot, isn't it? I like it. It goes on very smooth. You can't be really precise because there is some fuzz to this doe foot. Okay, that's pretty. And I have a feeling that this would be kind of a chameleon lip gloss. If I had it on over a beige lip liner, it would look more beige. Because I have it on over pink, it looks more pink because it does have some sheerness to it. I like the shimmer to it. It's not too metallic. It doesn't have too much glitter in it. It doesn't actually have any glitter in it at all. It doesn't feel sticky. It feels silky. When I first put my lips together, I could feel the kind of sandy particles in it, but the more I close my lips, it feels like they're kind of dissipating. We'll see how this goes, and then later on when I check in, I'll put on the Lippie Stix just so you can see it as another option. I will see you guys in a little while when I check in. Well, I didn't get to do a midday check-in, so this is a 10.5 hour check-in. I've blotted several times today. This foundation makes me pretty darn dewy. I have my handheld camera here, so it may be a little bit wobbly, but you can see on my forehead and kind of right here, and that's after just blotting with a tissue. I do feel like everything lasted though. Even though I do get shiny, it doesn't really fade away. So if you're someone who really likes a dewier foundation, I think you'll really like that Wet n Wild foundation. I feel like the color cosmetics have lasted. The brows, the eyes look really good. I don't think I see any mascara smudging or flaking or anything like that. The concealer lasted all day without smudging. I feel like in comparison to the rest of my face, it looks super matte. So I don't know if it is just drying looking. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. Based on today, it looks decent. It lasted. The brows, the makeshift eyeliner. I did switch over to the ColourPop Aquarius for my lip, and it lasts longer than the gloss. The gloss lasted a pretty decent amount of time for a gloss though, and it actually felt good on my lips. So if you have any thoughts on any of the products I tried today, let me know, and definitely head over to Cassandra's channel to check her out, tell her I sent you, and subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed already. I would love to have you here as part of the family. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.